Welcome to the Rustic Planters, where we bring timeless garden ideas into the modern world. Today, we're diving deep into the soul of Italy with a look at small Italian gardens styled after medieval monasteries and elegant palazzos. These intimate spaces are rich in history and serenity, offering lessons that can beautifully transform any garden. If you're passionate about garden design, especially ones with character, calm, and centuries of tradition, then you're in for a real treat. These gardens are more than just green spaces. They're reflections of spirituality, architecture, and cultural heritage. Make sure to subscribe to the Rustic Planters. Like this video if you're inspired by old world charm, and comment below with your favorite garden style. We love hearing your ideas and feedback. Italian gardens are defined by structure, formality, and harmony. While they vary across regions and periods, small gardens from medieval monasteries and urban palazzos emphasize quiet, enclosed beauty with purposeful design. In these gardens, symmetry often takes center stage. Straight lines, balanced compositions, and repetitive patterns were used to create order, reflecting the philosophical and spiritual ideals of the time. Yet, even within their symmetry, these spaces feel personal. They're intimate sanctuaries meant for contemplation and connection with nature, not just display. Medieval monastic gardens were designed as places of healing, prayer, and productivity. Monks cultivated herbs, fruits, and vegetables not just for sustenance, but for medicine and reflection. These gardens were usually walled, forming cloisters with a central fountain or well, symbolizing the source of life and knowledge. Everything had symbolic meaning, from the choice of plants to the layout. The design was influenced by both Christian doctrine and Roman traditions, blending utility with divine inspiration. Simplicity and humility were key traits. Italy's garden design roots can be traced to ancient Roman villas, where courtyards and peristyles brought nature into the heart of the home. Monastic and palazzo gardens inherited these spatial concepts. Romans emphasized controlled nature, pruned hedges, manicured lawns, and geometric layouts. These ideals filtered down into smaller medieval spaces with less grandeur but equal grace. Even in tiny spaces, the Roman love for axial design, where a central path leads the eye, lives on. It's all about guiding movement and enhancing experience. In Italian cities, noble families designed palazzo courtyards that blended privacy with status. These gardens were internal sanctuaries, often centered around a water feature or sculpture. Tall walls or arcades enclosed the space, creating a microclimate and shielding it from the chaos of the streets. The calmness inside was both aesthetic and psychological. Though smaller than rural estates, palazzo gardens packed in richness, climbing vines, citrus trees in pots, classical statues, and patterned tiles created immersive elegance. Traditional Italian gardens used locally sourced materials, terracotta pots, gravel paths, stone benches, and clay tiles. These natural textures added warmth and authenticity. Gravel was often used in paths for its crunching sound, signaling movement and grounding the senses. Stone and brick provided structure while weathering beautifully over time. These surfaces are not just practical, they contribute to the atmosphere. A well-worn stone path or an aged brick wall whispers stories of the past. Plant choices in medieval and Renaissance gardens reflected both practicality and symbolism. Herbs like lavender, rosemary, and sage were used for medicine and prayer. Evergreens like boxwood were used to form hedges and patterns, representing eternity. Fruit trees such as fig, quince, and pomegranate had biblical meanings. The gardens were not overly floral. Color was subtle, coming from foliage, fruit, or occasional bursts of white and purple blooms. Simplicity was a virtue. A hallmark of Italian garden design is the central axis. This straight path organizes the space, leading to a focal point like a statue, fountain, or sacred plant. The axis draws the eye and gives structure to the garden's design. Even the smallest space can feel grand and intentional with this layout. In monastic gardens, the axis often aligned with the church or a sacred room, merging the spiritual with the botanical. Walls are key in these gardens, not just for privacy, but to create a sense of refuge. A walled garden becomes a world of its own. Enclosures block noise, wind, and distractions. In a spiritual context, they represent the boundary between the sacred and the profane. You can replicate this idea with trellises, tall hedges, or even strategically placed pots and pergolas to build that feeling of containment. Water was essential in medieval and Renaissance gardens, often used symbolically. Fountains, wells, and small basins represented purification, life, and spiritual clarity. In monastic gardens, water allowed for irrigation and healing baths, while in palazzos, it brought elegance and soothing sounds to the courtyard. The gentle trickle of a fountain can make even the smallest urban garden feel timeless and serene. Many monastic gardens were planned around religious symbols. The cross layout was common, with four paths dividing the garden into quadrants. Plants like lilies and roses symbolized the Virgin Mary, while olive and grapevines echoed themes of peace and salvation. Designing with intention, where every plant or path has meaning, deepens your connection to the space and its heritage. Italian monastic gardens embraced simplicity as a spiritual discipline. Nothing was included without purpose. This restraint brought harmony. Instead of overwhelming with variety, the design calmed the soul with repetition, order, and restraint. Even today, simplicity brings clarity. Fewer plant species, natural materials, and subdued color palettes lead to gardens that feel restful and honest. These gardens weren't for entertaining. They were for thinking, praying, and being still. Every bench, path, or arbor was placed for quiet interaction. Seats were often tucked away in corners, under vines, or facing a single beautiful plant. Views were framed intentionally. To create your own contemplative garden, consider secluded corners, soft textures, and visual simplicity. Geometry was deeply rooted in both religious symbolism and aesthetic pleasure. Squares, circles, and crosses created spiritual order and balance. Paths and beds were laid out mathematically to ensure symmetry and reflection of divine perfection. You don't need a large space to apply geometry. Just start with 4 symmetrical quadrants and a centered element. Verticality adds dimension to flat spaces. Pergolas, trellises, and columns were used to define boundaries and invite climbing plants. Grapevines, jasmine, and roses created shade, fragrance, and seasonal change. The interplay of structure and softness was key. These elements evoke the romanticism of old Italy and are easy to replicate, even on a balcony or narrow yard. Italian gardens embrace the seasons. Deciduous vines, citrus and terracotta pots, and seasonal herbs created subtle shifts throughout the year. Even as the garden changed, its bones, paths, structures, and layout remained constant. That's what made it feel timeless. Plan your garden with year-round appeal, evergreens for winter, herbs and blooms for summer, and structure for all seasons. Stone benches, wrought iron chairs, and carved fountains brought usability to these intimate gardens. Each piece had weight and purpose. Nothing plastic or flimsy. Everything was meant to age gracefully, gather moss, and become part of the story. Choose garden furniture that blends with nature rather than stands out. Patina is beauty in these historical spaces. These gardens exude sacredness, not through grandeur, but through atmosphere. It's the stillness, the whisper of water, the filtered light. You can recreate this mood with soft pathways, filtered sun through climbing vines, and places to sit in silence. Don't just build a garden. Craft a space where the soul can breathe. Even the tiniest yard or balcony can echo these principles. Use potted herbs, trellised vines, a water bowl, and structured layout. Create a strong axis, build in a sitting space, and surround it with plants that smell, feed, or heal. The heart of these gardens is tranquility and thoughtfulness, not size. We've seen incredible adaptations around the world: urban courtyards in Florence, rooftop gardens in Rome, and monastic replicas in small rural homes. Each of these spaces honors the past while embracing the needs of the present. Let their creativity fuel your imagination. What part of this style speaks most to your soul? Thank you so much for exploring these serene and timeless gardens with us. We hope you're inspired to bring a little bit of Italy into your own green space. If you love this journey through monastic courtyards and palazzo elegance, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts or see your garden ideas. Until next time, may your garden be a place of peace, purpose, and beauty. Ciao from the rustic planters.